I just hit the record button. Okay. What's up, everybody? Shady's on Broadway. Let's remove the headset as per the usual first thing we do. We're back with an auto game. Let's have some fun with it. Let me just get a little bit positioned here. So we are placing in first. Apologize if my voice sounds a little weird. I'm a little sick right now, and I'm recording this upon waking up just because I want to get some more footage out for you guys, more content created while we're working on some more bigger projects. Let's look at this board. So first position, we need to consider the fact that the wheat is terrible. So I'm pretty sure I already know where I want to go, but I just want to wing out the options here. Pretty plentiful board. Strong consideration is always going to be the 8-5-10, and yeah, I'll explain it now. So when you look at this board in first, two things come to mind. Number one is that the wheat is not the best, and number two is that if you don't take wheat in the first position, well, I'm first, sorry. If you don't take wheat as your first pick, you're probably not going to get wheat, if not very bad wheat, somewhere on the 11 on the way back, which I don't like. I don't feel comfortable playing without wheat on this board. Now, these two spots are also incredible value. I don't know if 8-10 is going to be open. And the reason I say that is because 8-10 could be contested by someone like us. But yeah, so we're going to kind of jump into this game, kind of like freestyle it, see what ends up being available to us. But I do think we have some flexible outs on some wooden sheep, possibly something like 9-4-11. I wouldn't even be crazy opposed to something like 9-10-2 to the 5-2, right? You double up on your ore, you get a little bit more wood brick coordination. And then, of course, you have this the sheep hex on the right side over here with the 3 as well as the 6 wood. So we have a lot of options. And again, so looking to make more content. It won't all be Catan-based content, but if you guys do enjoy this type of content, definitely do let me know. Comments, likes, all of that definitely do support the channel as we're trying to expand our viewers. Of course, I would ideally like to hit 1,000 subscribers by the end of this year. That might be a bit of an ambitious goal. We have a few more months left in the year, around the halfway stage. But if you guys would like to help me with that journey, definitely do drop one. Much appreciated. So we do see some placements go down really quick here by Orange. They're doubling up on the 6 wood. I don't necessarily think that's great. Leaving 6-9-12 there for Blue with a 3-8 3-1 and the sheep board. And wow. Okay, guys. You know, every time I say something, I always jinx myself. But if you were to ask me to place first and 8th, like if I was going in first and I could put down 2 in a row, both spots that I would pick were left available to me. And, yeah, I'm not going to jinx it. I'm even going to point right because nobody's challenging this spot. But I feel very confident about this game. And I think the fact that my opponents left all of that available to me was very much a mistake. We're going to rob Orange here because they're the only person that does have a chance to contest this right side of the board. And we hit the 5 triple shared block, as well as the fact that they have a good chance 2 out of 3 for a card we want. Yeah. This is, so what I meant earlier was that if you could give me 2 picks of free choice before the other players could do anything, I would take these 2 spots. It's all 5 resources, 3-1 port. You can make an argument to point toward 11-12 to get on wheat port, but the reason I don't is I'm really just going to be road settling on 8, road settling 8-3-4, and just hamming out production, and playing like a road connect if the game goes that direction. The wheat port is great, don't get me wrong, but when you leave an 8-4-3 open as a road settlement to the player in first position, you generally are making very big blunders. Or a big blunder, I should say. But of course, let's not get too cocky. Like I said, this is Catan. Every time I say or do something of that cocky nature, I always get punished for it. But let's always try to see if we can trade for a brick, and if not, we just buy a development card, we pull ourselves a knight, which is fine, and we're just chilling. We don't mind this 6 being blocked. One thing that I want to stress, one thing I want to mention, is that you don't have to play knights when you don't have to. Like, you might be blocked, but consider the fact that, yes, you are moving the robber, but what does 2 more wood enable my current hand? It doesn't enable anything at all. So I'm actually going to go this way. Now, I always stress going for ports first, but because this spot is traditionally unchallenged, I'm going to snap it up because we make all 5 resources, and now we have settle in hand. But yeah, so I don't feel like I need to play the knight there. I really don't. And again, the big reason I stress that is there's no value in it for me moving this off of the 6. It doesn't really enable much. Now, I have the settle in hand, so orange is not really too much on my current radar. I don't want to rob green because they're flooded with wood, so I'm going to just grab a card from blue. Also because I recognize that they're the closest to a settlement there. Yeah. I'm definitely leader, and I'm not even going to try to argue against it. But what's great is that people don't like solo blocking. And it has like a kind of a negative stigma to it. Of course, I completely understand in an auto rank environment. If you solo block someone, they can get very emotional and react in a very negative way, which makes sense. But yeah, okay. I say that and I immediately get solo blocked. So this is where you move the robber, right? This is where you move the robber because it's on a spot that's very important to our game. And actually, I'm going to snap this trade with orange. I don't mind giving them the settlement here. I'm going to accept it. Now, that card doesn't do anything for me, and it gives orange a settlement. But to clarify why I do that, I think I actually should have robbed blue there for a wheat. Dang it, that was a misclick. I should have robbed blue there because that would have enabled me to buy another card. That was a mistake. But let me finish the first thought process there. So we already made a small blunder. Robbing blue there, I think, was 2 out of 4 wheat chance, which would have given us pop. But they're going to probably move the robber anyway. To finish the thought there, though, giving orange settlement here is good because it gives more spots for double block as opposed to the 8. So essentially what I'm doing is I'm giving a player who is not in a very good position overall a more space on my side of the board. And of course blue is just aggressively soloing us there. Which, again, it's a good play, it's a smart play, but it hurts. It hurts, of course. Not really much we can do without wheat, which is where robbing that wheat there would have been very critical for our game. I mean, they're the only... I don't even think they have one left now, maybe. Yeah, our hand's stuck. That's fine. Yeah, and of course, like, you have to recognize that this is a really important block. I'm going to try to push this instead. I mean, I'll take the first one if that's the only option given to me. Yep. Because right now, essentially what we're doing is we're just challenging dev cards from blue. I can already recognize that even though blue is not in current best board game state, that they, nope, no take backsies, brother, that we're not, that they're probably the best player on this board. Just in the way that the placements were made and the decisions they're currently utilizing with their hand, I think is pretty effective, pretty efficient. But yeah, we're rolling into cards. We never trade wheat here, of course. We're probably going to have to buy a knight. I think, depending if we don't get a knight, we also probably get a dev card. Okay, we pull mono, which is cool. I'm just going to drop the road. Open ourselves a settlement spot. When we get settle here, our game opens up tremendously because we kind of just steamroll. We have an effective road that nobody can contest, which is the power of going this way as opposed to the 11-12. And again, traditionally, you always point toward your ports. But in this type of game state, in this type of board scenario, we really see the power of this setup come into play. Because to give you like an idea here, we don't even necessarily need to fight devs, but the reason that we want to pop is that if we're being soloed on 8, our game kind of slows, because the 8 is our most important number. It's our most significant hex on this board. But you know, we can't complain. The game's going all right here. Unfortunately, our 8 rolls again when it's blocked, so that'd be another 2 wheat and a settlement, no less. High value trade going out there, brick for wheat. The reason I don't swing on it is our brick is the same as our wheat, so giving blue value here is just not that good for us. But we do see a couple of wheat go to orange's hand, so there is potential to give a 2-to-1 trade to grab that, but I'm always going to try to do a 1-to-1 first. Blue counters, and I'm actually willing to do 2 cards here. I'm actually willing to do 2 cards. Nobody bites, though, but that's fine. We can be patient. The reason I'm okay with doing 2 cards there is it empties my hand completely. But yeah, imagine if this 8 wasn't blocked and we had 4 wheat in our hand, right? Like that enables settlement and pop, and green is progressing very quickly. So something we have to be aware of there. But yeah, let's just keep moving along. With the mono, I feel a little bit more comfortable. And thankfully a 7 gets rolled there. I mean, we're probably going to get robbed, even though I do think that green should be acknowledged now with double settles. But yeah, mono is effectively 2 points in most games, so just something to look at from that perspective. And we do see a, yep, settlement from blue. Good play by them. And we managed to pull into a wheat. All right. So traditionally, I think getting a city here is pretty important. But also getting the settlement is, I think, the most significant thing I can do. With the port, again, it just opens up our hand. And look at that. We just roll into an 8 when it's unblocked. Really, really big roll for us. At this point, I probably see myself just dropping the city because these players are not going to be able to get more than 1 or 2 devs this turn. Yeah, and I completely agree with orange. That's a mistake. Because now we have settle pull if we don't 7 out. Or excuse me, city dev. I don't know why I said settled. Yeah, orange is going to talk, but this is not a talkative table, and I don't feel obligated to jump into conversation. Just going to stay quiet, play my game. But yeah, they definitely did not lock up this board as they should have. So we're going to pop, we get a knight, we're in a city, defend our spot. The reason you always do 8, 5, 10, I think, is it just turns it into such a significant power roll. You can even make a, yeah, I mean, I'm not going to play the mono there. But anyway, we most definitely get hit on the 8. You can make an argument to city 6 through 11, but your ore wheat ratio always has to be stronger than your sheep wood ratio here. So the value of that is just not there for me. But 2 roads puts us on 7. Mono for double points puts us on 9. You can play a couple knights, get army for 10. Yeah, this is looking like a pretty easy cleanup, pretty easy clean out. But it's going to depend on how well the table coordinates together if they can push, because we can win with either win condition with this setup. We're very flexible in that regard. Or we could even build to 10 because of the monopoly. So, yeah. Blue basically confirms having 1 non-knight. They just pulled another card. Could be a knight there. 7 is rolled. We probably get hit on the 5, realistically, which is fine. And actually, in a funny sense, I'm tempted to hit, oh, okay. Just don't force me to play my knight. I like that, orange. I don't see the reason of hitting 9 here, but okay. It's not prompting me to play a knight. I roll a 7, though. And I don't really want to make an enemy out of them there. I feel like probably the correct neutral play is to rob from blue. I think the correct neutral play there is to rob from blue, because it tests the dev of green and blue's hand. Yeah, there's the knight. So we have 2 non-knights sitting on green and blue side, which is nice information. Because what that means is if we get pop, then that just opens up our game exponentially. So card tracking. We see that green has wood and ore in their hand, both of which are incredible steals for us, either being a road settle on the 4-11 or a pop with to get another knight to unblock ourselves. So we don't really need to trade here. We could look for value, but if they want wheat, wheat is hard for us to come by. And we're on 7 cards. Traditionally on 7 cards, I don't really recommend trading unless you can construct a very kind of like closed gap there. But yeah, road gets taken, which it's fake road, right? They could be on 7 points, but we're not really looking at orange presently. Although I do think they should be challenged anyway. I could probably just throw it on 5, to be honest. I'm not really looking for a particular spot, but we do rob green always. Okay, so there was the risk there of rolling the 7, but I don't really recognize that as that bad of a thing. We're going to try to trade for a wood here. They want 2 cards. I think I take the dev instead. I get VP, and then I open up settlement spot. I mean, I could 3-1 and take another dev, actually. I think that's probably the correct play. If nobody's trading ore, I think the correct play is to 3-1 the brick for an ore. No. And the reason I say that is with another knight, we have army locked. Or not locked, but army basically secure for 8. And then we have mono to either take road with or to city road settle. We don't really need to pop any more devs is what I'm trying to say. So emptying our hand there was very good in terms of flexibility. Okay, we do see a knight from blue, but that's weird that they kind of slow played it. But okay, we can hit my 5. I don't mind that. Roll a 7 and probably put in the 8, get no cards. Yeah. That's cool, brother. And I hate how playing the knight puts us on 8 points, and it just reveals all the information they need, but it is what it is. Really, orange is effectively on 7 points with open settle, but they're not getting a city on their own. And their odds of pulling mono are very low. I mean, they could pull Year of Plenty, but again, we're not really looking too much at that. And actually, in hindsight, I think you probably rob blue because they're the only person that can contest army at this point. But hitting blue and hitting orange is not really feasible. I mean, you could put it on the 4 as like a neutral block. But, yeah, I mean, I also recognize that green has a city. But I'm just going to hit blue. Nice. Just because my hand is completely dead. I mean, I could pop another card, but I don't think I need to. I think popping devs there is just a mistake. Like, you already know like what's happening. Blue at worst case scenario buys 1 dev on their turn. So don't make the mistake of buying too many dev cards. That is, even though it's recognized as one of, if not the strongest strategy, I think that's a mistake there that some people would make, would be porting the wheat into a sheep, emptying your hand and getting another knight when you really don't need that. Like, you essentially already have what you need to win here. I just mono brick, I think. Okay. I'm gonna do double trade. I don't think you can win. He has 7 points, but I'm not really going to trade him. Yeah, we have win in hand. Mono the brick and take the road. Or road settle city. We have a lot of different outs. Let's just see what rolls. It's on 8 points now. Yeah, we just mono brick. I don't have to try to be sneaky. Take my city. And then, can I take road? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I need 3 roads. Oh no, I don't have enough. Oh, I don't have enough. That's only 2. That'd be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Shucky darns. Well, we can pop. And just make sure I have enough cards to actually win. Ba-ba-ba-ba. Nope. There you go. GG. Yeah, so, again, we use the mono there to get 2 points. Pretty straightforward stuff. If we look at dice stats, 4s didn't hit, which kind of sucked for the other players, of course. 4 was a pretty impactful number. Actually, 4 would have mattered for us too, and 11 also kind of low rolled. I don't think we really played the game poorly. There was that misplay earlier of not robbing blue to get the card. But again, the issue with this game was just you left me the entire board. You left me the world. I don't agree with the placements that were taken, especially by players like Orange. But yeah, just wanted to give you guys a little bit of perspective. This was a quick and easy one. And again, I don't want to post games that I only win. But I just wanted to show you guys this because I found that kind of entertaining. And I guess you could title this video of what happens when you leave incredible open spots for your opponents, right? What you take is just as important as what you leave your opponents. So yeah, hope you guys enjoyed. Take care. God bless.